Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you the feature match for this week. We're going to be doing something a little bit different this week, as I mentioned. This week there's just going to be some showcasing some of the stuff that just came out. This is the Faria and Melgis dual deck, and then this Saturday I'm going to show off the two Vingulf kind of pre-made decks that I recommended. So yeah, there's really not much to say about these decks. We just wanted to kind of showcase what you would be getting right out of the box. So in fact, I'm not even going to be doing a lot of commentary. Things are kind of crazy this week. I got a lot of stuff going on, so wanted to just kind of give you guys something that you can still kind of watch and enjoy. So I'm just gonna mention a couple of things throughout the video and kind of highlight some kind of key interactions that happened that we noticed, that are things for you to kind of keep in mind when you're playing with these decks or looking at these cards that come out. But for the most part, I just wanted you to have something that you could just check out and see, so that you could really see what you were getting when you were buying the dual deck. So mostly you're just gonna hear just the gameplay and see some music, and I hope you enjoy it. But you'll hear me kind of step in to talk about a few key interactions we see as it goes on. So first off, Rook Egg is that card that you just saw me block with. When it gets sent to the graveyard, you get to search for any red resonator from your deck and put it in your hand. Very powerful card for red, and it's when it's put into a graveyard for any way. It doesn't have to be like blocked or anything like that. So you could actually even just incarnate it and make it happen. So very, very cool. So like as I said, enjoy the match. I'll step in to kind of mention a couple key interactions that we saw come up during our time, but until then, yeah, just enjoy. So one thing that you see there is pretty cool. The new Faria and Melgis both have an ability when they get flipped over, when they J-activate, that they can take the top stone in their Magic Stone deck and put it into play. So they don't even actually have to skip a turn in order to J-activate. It's something that's very, very unique, and actually I think encourages J-activation more, which I really, really like. So you see Josh has played that his Regalia, Excalibur. These are the new types of cards. So you get 2 per dual deck. Very, very cool. So they act as kind of like field editions, but they're not field editions. So yeah, so they act kind of like field editions, but they're not field editions, and they kind of just stay there and kind of give your J rulers a buff and can modify their abilities a little bit. So you saw me like play Demon Flame for my hand, and what it does is it makes it so that I either kill something that took damage this turn or deal 500 damage to a target resonator. So I actually thought that I had dealt, I don't know why, but I thought I had dealt some damage to his Tristan, but I hadn't, so we quickly corrected so that the Demon Flame killed his little tiny 300 dude. So here you see me try to swing in with Melgis on his Faria to try and get her off the board. He blocks with his small creature, and then I use Melgis' ability to attempt to pay 1 and banish my Resonator in order to deal 300 damage to it, but he responds by playing his spell that gives it plus 200, and then gains 200 life. So I still kill it because it blocks Melgis, but I wasn't able to kill it ahead of time. And then in response to, so that's the other thing I'm going to show off. So I was going to swing with my Flame Wolf against his Faria, but I forgot that tapping the Regalia can give it plus 200, so it wouldn't have even done anything. So I went ahead and we just changed the attack target to his smaller dude. You're gonna see a few times in this match that, you know, those kind of like backups, kind of backpedaling happen from both of us, trying to figure out certain plays and things like that, because again, we just kind of wanted to show off what was coming in these two decks, so we weren't super worried about making like the most well executed plays constantly. So we wanted to just show off to you guys what you would be getting, so you knew whether or not this was a good investment, which it definitely is. So you see that, we played in the wrong order, but you see that Volcano come out, that's Certo. It just makes it so neither player can gain life, and every single time a Resonator is put into a graveyard, both players take 100 damage. So you see me corrected on the overlay here. I do notice it here in a second, but we both took 100 damage from that Tristan going to the grave. So that spell that you just saw him play is the Spell Chant Standby that involves the light Spell Chant Standby. That's very, very good. It's essentially a light thunder when something's attacking or blocking. But if you have Faria out, Faria just it's a one-sided duel of truth. If you have a J-Ruler. For a one-drop spell, that is absolutely phenomenal. Very, very good card. Because it works with attacking or blocking. So before I kill his Faria with Melgis, he gives it imperishable with his Regalia. So my spell chance standby works very similarly, in the fact that if I have a J ruler, it just burns a target when I'm attacking, when one of my resonators is attacking, or when one of my resonators is attacking, it just makes one of his resonators unable to block. So I was able to lock him down and finish the game off. So we're going to game 2. So what you see here is that Gwyber, that dragon, is a 5-drop, but he has his colorless cost reduced by 2 for every resonator put into a field this turn. So by paying two small dudes for 1 each, he then is able to play Gwyber for only 1. So he's able to quickly throw out that huge 1200 flying dragon. So you see me try to attack with my other guy first, and he activates his standby spell. Then I remember that I can't actually do that because I have to attack with Lancelot first. You don't have to attack with Lancelot every turn, but if Lancelot's on the field and you're going to attack, you have to swing in with Lancelot first. And he was at 1000 power because of the boost from my little small dude. And then I try and swing in there and force him to use his standby spell. So getting everything back to where it should be. So the thing to remember here that I completely forgot is that Faria has target attack just as her base ability. She gets it from Excalibur as well, but I forgot about that, and I just assumed that my Melgis was going to be safe, so I flipped in response to his flip. It was a really bad idea. But you know, now we both just don't have a J ruler for this game because he just crashed his Faria into my Melgis. So the thing is, because he has Knights of the Round Table when he plays that second Tristan, it gains swiftness. So all 4 of his resonators are going to be able to attack this turn. That's a lot of damage to put on board. Plus, all of his resonators are going to gain plus 100 when he attacks with Tristan. So at that point, I knew that he just has game, so I decided to go ahead and push us on to game 3. So we finally get to see that Percival come out. I was glad we got to see it. What happens is, when it enters the battlefield, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, grab a Regalia or a Knight of the Round Table out of that list, and then put it into your hand. Very, very powerful card. A lot of people are hyping about Lancelot, but I personally think that Percival is the best card out of the dual deck, just because it's so consistent. It's not an enter effect, and it digs so much and can grab so much. So very, very powerful card. Plus you can banish it to prevent all damage to a J ruler or Knight of the Round Table card for the entire turn. Very, very good. So you see us discussing something here. That's because his Galahad card has the ability of when it gets sent to the graveyard, you rest target Resonator. So the question begins is, if it's getting burned, because it's a 2-step process in Flames King Shout, deals 400, period, then put out something. The question was, does Galahad tap down my Resonator when I put it out with Flame King Shout, because it's kind of like interrupting, or does it go in a kind of a like pseudo chase because it can't interrupt? But we talked about it a little bit and we realized that it's an automatic ability and it's a mandatory trigger, so it will go off after Flame King Shout resolves. And so tapping down my Guinevere that I put out with Flame King Shout, that's okay, because it's just going to come back next turn. It's going to be able to be used next turn anyway. So this is the neat little interactions you see in with Guinevere and Rookegg. I sacrifice Rookegg for the cost of Guinevere's ability. Then Rookegg goes on the stack. So Rookegg lets me search for a Fire Resonator. Then I use Gwen's ability to draw 2 and discard 1. Very, very powerful combo that you can do there. So I was able to use my standby spell to kill his Gwyber. And then what you see me do there is I spend 2 extra will to pump up my flyer to become 800 attack, and so I'm able to crash it into Faria and get her off the board. So now he doesn't have a J-roller for the rest of the game. So this is a situation where playing Certo too early was a problem. I got myself too low. That's the one thing I have a problem with Certo, because if you're in low life, it essentially means that you just have to kill yourself, because if you block, you're going to start losing life anyway, and if you don't block, they're going to kill you. So Certo is definitely something to keep in mind to only play if you're like really winning and you need to kind of secure that lead. It's like, see, even if I block stuff, we're both going to take damage because I blocked his cards. And I'm just going to get burned out before anything else happens. So I just go ahead and scoop at this point, because I know that he's just going to kill me. So that's it, guys. This is, like I said, this is just the 2 decks that come right out of the duel deck. So I recommend checking those out. Let me know what you thought. If you've picked one of these up, what you're going to, plan to make with the contents of them. And we'll show off more fancy versions using the cards from these decks in the future. But this was just something I wanted to show you guys. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And this is DMO73 signing off.